Alright. Nope. 5.3's here. Might as well. I was gonna do the trial, but I was like, you know what? Nah. Worry about it later. Sure, my luck is gonna shrink. I think I need some constellations from Kachina. I think that's it. Really. I realized anyone is in here. Let's see, will my luck be good or will it be bad? I'm trying to think how many Kachina constellations I need. I think I want to say 4 or 5. It's never fun seeing the 4-star weapons. My character banner. Okay. One of these days I need to get a goddamn counter. I really should. And... E. My heart is ready to burst out of my chest. Right now, just out of concern. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems about right. Gotta be cursed with that luck. I was like, I know it. I know it's gonna happen. So much for 50-50s. Hey look, there's the Pyro Archon. Not gonna complain there. Would be nice for that event to happen. Was it the Radiance event? I'm thinking about that. I have not had that event happen even once. I know it's supposed to be rare, but goddamn. That's just, yeah. I'm not surprised. I thought this is clearly gonna be enough to get both the weapon and her. That's what I get for thinking that. Bruh. Yay, Favonius Lance for the 13th million time.
With the flames to guide us across time, we took a land shrouded in darkness and used our own blood and tears to forge it into a home. Now our journey continues, and a new chapter awaits. As the current Pyro Archon, allow me, Mavuika, to light your way forward.
Alright. I was gonna say it'd be funny to get double. Nope. Love that splash art. It is too good. Okay. Bruh. Watch it be one of the normal weapons. Never mind. The game heard me talking smack. The game really just said, hmm? The game really just heard me talking smack. Hey. Uh. Another one. Can we do it again? Ah. I was gonna say, that would have been real hilarious. To do it again. Nope. Like, it was super hard to pull her. The weapon? Nope. Oh, that is awesome.
Perfect. I feel nice and loose.
Awesome. I don't even care what people say that this doesn't deserve to be in this game. As much as saying that's the most ridiculous thing to ever be added to the game, is saying that as an understatement. Personally. No, we gotta hear the line.
Starting from today, you should write down all your accomplishments on a piece of paper. Then, when you take it out on your next birthday, you'll have a gift from yourself. That way, you'll never forget how amazing you are. Happy birthday, traveler.
Aw, that's such a sweet one. It's like, where is it?
Archon reporting for battle.
Nothing too crazy with that one. Ah. I love it's even glowing too. That's perfect. Oh, that's cool. That's such a nice touch. The flames aren't there for Kenichi, but for her, they are. That's a nice touch. And doing a hell of a good job insinuating that it's her weapon. I love the hair. The hair is too good. Oops. Gee, I wonder how ridiculous the trial is going to be. ridiculous. I like the little touch that it looks like it has at the head of a dragon at the front. Like I said, I don't care if people say this is the dumbest thing to be added to the game. You can be a hater all you want. But I feel like, make room for Shaznia, because I feel like that statement might be countered.
Pyroclastic surge!
Yes, you are.
How about this? Take a
Tell me what you see.
Let's ride!
Aw, this one.
Wrath from the sky!
God, what is this ridiculous playstyle? What in the world?
Let's hope you'll pull up a good fight.
No, you gotta see what Signori is. That was ridiculous. Hey, at least Mahoyo broke the trend. Well, bucked it pretty much now. Giving us an Archon that actually will fight and actually be more, not be subjected to support role. Why is the song from Aladdin in my head suddenly? I wish that was the sprinting animation. I'm sorry, but I want that as the sprinting animation.
Dodge this. Don't get frostbite.
many happy returns!
Show no mercy! Ninjutsu!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You two! Time to end them!
Freeze! This moment will be frozen in time.
Okay, that was a weird one.
He's Laline! He's Papa! Get him!
Dodge this.
Mighty mythical beast!
Get to work! I'm out of here!
Weird combination of characters kept in
Freeze!
here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Suffer the wrath of Easley!
Okay. I feel like Silale was a little more confusing to understand. Just a little. Ow. But Silale will have to wait till next week. I like this combo. I'm thinking about it. We only have like, what, 3 or 4 characters who have 5-hit combos that are Claymore users? The rest are like 4, and only like 1 other that's 3? I think is Sayu? There might be 1 other, but I could be misremembering. I won't say. That Claymore though, I like it. Which I didn't even see. What was the passive effect? Yeah, so at the point, I already can't wait for to fully build her and everything. For once we bucked the trend from Verena, from Zhongli, from Venti, and kind of more went over to Raiden's gameplay. And avoided Nihida. No offense, I'm all for the Archons playing the sub DPS support role, but no offense, this kind of was the region we kind of needed. An Archon who more took the front stage when it comes to the DPS department. So if you're one of those people who hate anything about her aesthetic, politely go touch some grass. I would go much more deeper with that, but I think go outside and touch some grass, for crying out loud. And I love her outfit. I think honestly, like I said, and I've mentioned it before, Natlan is becoming one of my favorite regions, both story and just narrative, well, the narrative and everything about the region. The character designs are actually, none of them feel, oh, generic Animo character, generic Geo, generic Dendro. Like, Kinich, Jalona, and Chaska are like perfect examples. As much as saying they are, their gameplay loop is so just out of left field, I think that's what makes me like Mavuika more. And I, honestly, as much as part of the community is getting toxic because of this BS right here with the motorcycle, the game needs a refresh. Like, you can only do a spin on a mechanic so much before it gets boring. You know, I think we're just getting sick and tired of hold E to do this. Why not we have some fun and do stupid shit like this? Introduce a gimmick like a motorcycle into the game. Who cares? For crying out loud, we've ridden dragons, went into other worlds, simulations, dreams, and all this other nonsense and BS. What is not introducing something as stupid and ridiculous as people may think this motorcycle is? When we've been told dragons have technology, highly advanced, and all that BS. I just find it funny. People want to complain about them adding something that is different. And to that I say, grow up. Act like freaking adults for once. Just act like adults, for crying out loud. If you're one of the people who doesn't like it, okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not gonna care. Gonna move on with my day. And honestly, in my opinion, I just think the logic in my head, the motorcycle must be dragon technology, repurposed and refitted for her. And no offense, just to point out this, look how big Natlan is. And the fact we are still getting one other region over here added down the line to here's Sumeru. That's big. And then Fontaine. I think it's pretty obvious on the fact of, yeah, letting her have a traversal method like the motorcycle kind of makes sense to add it to the game. And besides, I like it because honestly, as I more have debated in my head as counter-argument to the people who want to complain about the motorcycle, just see it as Moyo's evolved and they are done with the spectacle burst. For those who don't get what I'm talking about, like, characters are perfect examples. I think Tartaglia is like almost one of them. Like, Ulani is that perfect example. The shark. I think we are long past those character designs now. Like, I don't mind them. Bringing them, adding them every once in a while, but it's not fun. Like, I think that's why I'm actually like, I like the Natlan characters more. It's not generate energy just to have this flashy show-off burst. They actually make it where the skill is the main part of their kit. Is their main focus of their gameplay loop. While everything else meshes. I think that's why I think I can honestly use as Kachina's perfect example. her burst complements her skill. And I think that's where Mohoyo is standing with their game development now. Is they're done with adding more characters like Mulani, Tartaglia, Navia. Like, people complain Nervalent's busted and overpowered, and it's like, I think this is them testing that philosophy and thinking, yeah, I think we're done with the giving the characters who do this, have this all-out high damage in one go approach. Let's do something that's continuous damage and just dishes it out in long term rather than the short term. I don't know if that's the best way to explain it, but I think honestly, like saying, using character examples, like I think Ryan's almost a perfect example of the opposite approach where things are right now. A character that this is all they need to do, and then they can swap out. Like, no offense, as someone who's been playing the game since release, I can only tolerate having that meteor come down 1,000 times and be like, woohoo, that is so boring now. Like, it's hard to even look at any of these characters down here and think they have been just overshadowed by so many other characters now. Like, that's why I think saying Tartaglia is the example of saying this is where their game philosophy was, and look where we are now. The thing that is like the main selling point for the character now is not the burst, which in my opinion is good, because I think we're done with that. Because no offense, in my opinion, I'm just sick and tired of that playstyle. It's not fun. Like, ever since using Nervalent now, I'm like I can't even want to use the characters who have the set it forget it playstyles. I guess the perfect example is I just am not a fan of the characters like Tartaglia, whose gameplay loop is so just boring, so to speak. I think that's kind of why I'm actually liking a lot of the Fontaine characters so much, because their gameplay loop isn't so boring. It's something different, refreshing for once. As much as people probably want to roast these two for not having the best gameplay, but it's like, it's better than leaning into what is the meta. Might as well just force people to try some different things. Because I feel like that's ultimately adding the argument that I randomly saw where people are like saying Nervalent needs to be nerfed. It's like, I don't think he needs to be nerfed. I think he needs proper competition. When will that happen? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Maybe Mavuika might be the start of that. I don't know. I played so many other games where balance is such a delicate topic to bring up. And I know I'm ranting, and probably a lot of y'all probably clicked off the video and all that. I want to say stuff because it's just like, I see things and I'm just like, I doom scroll shit and just see people being negative, especially with Mavuika, because the whole motorcycle stuff and all that, and I'm just like, y'all people need to get a life. Get a grip on reality. Well, it's the perfect time to say that on this nonsense. It's like, if y'all don't like the whole Mavuika having a motorcycle nonsense, then honestly, I would counter-argue with that, saying, why does Arlequino even have what looks to be an angel wing on her, when that's not even prominent in her kit, or even mentioned, or even given any context to her? Because at that point, people are not liking that. That sounds like a you problem. I know there's people who are disappointed with how Natlan is. In my opinion, Natlan is becoming my favorite region. Because it is maybe just, you know, being the odd kid at the table that is so different that it just says it's cool in the long run. So I just think Natlan is probably going to be one of those situations where people are going to roast it and give this chapter grief, but I'm sure give it a few years or two, give it a year or two, some time later, people start to like Natlan and kind of be like, this is not bad region overall. Because I know it's kind of awkward to top Fontaine, but no offense, before Fontaine, I was actually excited for Natlan. Entirely. I was like, hands down, I was like, I want to go to Natlan. Screw Fontaine, I ain't caring. Fontaine's predictable. It feels predictable. Natlan, I'm like, alright, we gotta check with it. You can't predict what's gonna happen. Like, seriously. Like, I know it'd be like, oh, you're prejudicing it because you knew something about Fontaine. I'm like, no, I didn't. I didn't pay attention to leaks or anything. I I think it was just the fact that, like, too many of the playing the Ace Attorney mini game for the story, and I was just like, I get that's Fontaine's aesthetic, but no offense, it's kinda not fun. And I think it was more like, ooh, war and all this stuff that Natlan is going through. It's like, I like it. But anyway, enough of that tangent and rant. Like I said, if you're one of those people who is on the opposite end of what my opinion is, you can say that. You can say your opinion in the comments. Will I agree with it all the way? No, not really. I'm just expressing my opinion and felt like the elephant in the room needed to be talked about, which was the main complaint about Mavuika's kit. Because I know people were disappointed with her outfit and disappointed with what her playstyle is and everything about her, and annoyed with Natlan and all this, and I'm like, are you sure you're disappointed? Or it's just you not wanting what you thought was fantasy instead of reality? Like, at the end of the day, specifically, I'm not one of those people who cares about the whole whitewashing nonsense. I'm just more, as long as the culture is being respected and appreciated, that's all I care. I don't care. Because you can have someone who's from the countries that Natlan is inspired by, and they could be white, or whatever skin tone, and it won't matter. So I care less. And I think also, in my opinion, Natlan, out of all the nations, aesthetically is pleasing and environmental wise. Unlike Mondstadt, high mountains, a lot of climbing, flat grassy land, Liyue being too many goddamn mountains, way too many mountains, and the complete lack of traversal characters. Like, not even joking, as someone who played around release, it was not fun doing a lot of the exploring in Liyue, and there being no Kazuha, no Zhao, only Venti. Venti was our only exploring character except for Kaching. I was like, yeah, the only other exploring character we had at the time. To think now we have like an entire region of characters here, up to like now 8 now? Yeah, 8. 8 that make exploring the region better. I think that's just adding another point that I like Natlan for. Is this. Instead of getting 2 characters who are exploring, we got an entire cast of characters that are good at exploring. That is Mohoyo, I think, literally taking the criticism that every region was chastised for. Where's our exploring tech? Where's any way of getting around the map faster and quicker? It's like, you look at, like, Inazuma's like almost a perfect example using, it's like, name one character from a time when Inazuma's updates were. So 2.0 to like 2.8. Name from Haizu to Kamisato. Name all these characters and think, and say in the comments, name one of these characters that gave us a new tech when it came to exploring. Because I'll tell you the answer is no. None of them. None of them gave us anything new. Just added gameplay. That's all. Like, it's hard to think how people gave Yoimiya a bad rep. Like, it's really funny to just look back at this at this list and just think, man, there's some characters in here that time has done better for them than their release. Like, Yoimiya is now in a better spot. People like using her. She's now one of the better characters when it comes to boss killing. Ryan still is up there. Hell, I still remember Kokumi. People roasting her for being a bad character. And look where we are now. She's one of the better characters to get. And Yelan, I know she debated an argument about power creep when I had to counter that argument saying it don't exist. That's just y'all coping with it. Hell, I think Mihoyo, like Cookie and Miko, be perfect examples of adapt and innovate on ideas instead of sticking with the formula. Like overall with this year of 2025, I shouldn't say this, but the video series I want to start working on that would be very fun to do and would be great, which is let's look back at all these characters and see how they're doing now in 2025. You know, kind of not retrospective, but just like when I have the time to make these videos, much like the Shalonen video, finally put these characters together and see if maybe they've improved or still need time for more characters to come out. Like, I would gladly do Chaska, Orin, you know, all the newer characters and not really have an order, just whatever character I feel like putting together at the end of the day. Like, speaking of Tartaglia, it came to my mind being like, yeah, it'd actually be nice to do a video on him. Since was one of the Hydro characters everyone kind of defaulted to two for DPS. Zhao, I know he's yeah, like the fact that if I did one for Zhao, it'd probably be around the time when Lanyon becomes available, solely because that's immediately another character without even knowing her constellations and everything in her kit. A character who would probably fit with Zhao super well, since he doesn't care about swirls, he is mainly damage. And I know people make the argument that with Arlecchino and Hu Tao, it's like Arlecchino kind of power creeped her out, but it's like, yes, but I think it's more matter of opinion with characters. I think that's just where Mihoyo stands, is I think as much as people make the dumb argument statement of power creep, it's hard to even agree with the argument because there's only really like one or two characters that counter that argument.
Silly
and
child.
one of them is the obvious elephant in the room. Which, I'll give my 2 cents. Should Nervalet be nerfed? No. I think it's just all the other characters just need minor tweaking and buffing. At the end of the day, I think that's just it. And it's just more of saying the question here. How many teams does Nervalet have in the game? Like, how many combinations does he have in the game? And how many of them are busted and overpowered? Because I know people will obviously say for the combination of him and Farina and Jalonen now being in the game makes him even more stronger. True. And I know people like using Gaming and Shavus as perfect examples. Like, I prefer Hoyo giving us these characters that do stuff that are kind of sprinkles in some flavor into the game. So, I'm caring less how people feel about the game right now. It's like, I enjoy it, and I'm having fun. Hey. I played the game mostly for the story, but I enjoy playing the game. Because I love the gameplay loop and everything about it. But, either way, enough of that rant. I would have made that a separate video, just talking about all this nonsense the community's expressing the community's sentiment, because I keep hearing about it and seeing it, and I'm just like, I don't care. I just want to play the game. If you don't like
Rev
this,
the engines!
that sounds like a you problem. And to that counter argument, that I will say, would you prefer Ohio being predictable or them innovating and adapting to the situation?
Full throttle!
Because in my opinion, I would rather they do this. In my honest opinion. Giving us characters that are out of the box.
Yeah.
Rather than inside the box all the time. Like I'd rather just remind people. Just flashback right now. Go look at footage at Genshin back in 2020. And you tell me if the game has not evolved. This was bound to happen, and it was bound to just be like that in a snap of a finger.
Many insects
Like-
have a compulsion to follow the light.
Like, it's really hard to even think. We got an entire region dedicated of both exploring, combat, characters who have all around good kits, and not landing themselves in one particular area. Like, I don't even know if I want to use Orin because the gameplay is so confusing to understand it still. But it's just too much fun to not have enjoyment with this. Like, that is too much fun. But enough of that rant and taking that tangent too long. Either way, hopefully y'all like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I'll see y'all next time.